What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of VR365. Today it is Saturday. It is October 17th, and I'm going to be talking about the Oculus Quest 2. The Oculus Quest 2 has arrived. I've got one here, and I've been using it for the last couple of days. I've used it ever since the official launch day. I've been trying it basically every day. Now, the truth is, I do have to warn everybody out there, this is going to be more of an initial impressions sort of deal than some like final verdict about the Oculus Quest 2. And honestly, the only people out there that can really have like a final verdict on the Oculus Quest 2 are people like Nathy, people like Mike, people like Tyriel, Cass, and Cherry, the people that got Oculus Quest 2s like way long time ago. Those people have had it now for like 3 weeks, almost a month. And I honestly believe that if you're really going to get a feel for a product, you've got to have it more than just a couple of days. It takes time to sink in. Also, I believe it's a roller coaster ride. I believe there's ups and there's downs. And over a period of time, you start to realize what that animal is. And you start to realize what the limitations are, what your little nitpicks are. And a lot of times, the problems that you have and the things that you love about it might be very personal to you and might not really concern other people very much, or it might not really like scale across to an entire population of people that are using that product. And the other thing, when it comes to VR headsets, you know what really sucks actually about being a hardcore VR enthusiast and wanting to try all these amazing VR headsets that are available at all these different times, is when you go to buy a VR headset, you honestly have no freaking idea if the VR headset is really going to work for you. Unless your IPD is like 64, 63 and a half, you've got a pretty small, perfectly shaped head. I mean, you need to be the perfect average Joe Blow. Even then, I don't know that you can, even then, some people think the PlayStation VR is the most comfortable headset ever. Other people think, no, the Valve Index is way more comfortable than anything. People have different favorites about what they think is the most comfortable, what they think is the least comfortable, what does this, what does that. People have one thing that somebody says is like the strength of a particular VR headset. Another person says, no, that's its critical flaw. These things are so personal. This is not a Blu-ray player. This is not a freaking Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3. You can't just buy the thing, hook it up to your TV, and you're going to get the same experience that everybody else is. Now, although we're talking about an Oculus Quest 2, and one of the nice things about the Oculus family, the Quest family actually, one of the nice things about the Quest family is if you are playing native Quest games, for example, on your Oculus Quest 1, if you're playing Beat Saber on your Oculus Quest 1, you know that everybody else that has an Oculus Quest 1 that is playing Beat Saber is basically getting the same experience. Now, that's from a technological standpoint. That's from the sound, and even the sound is not going to be the same because, hey, we've got different quality headphones. Right now, I'm using Sennheisers, and I've been using these exact headphones with my Quest 2, and I didn't need to use them with the Quest 1 because I got a deluxe audio strap. That's in the news as well. But yeah, so I've had my Quest 2 now for several days, and I have some opinions on it, but really, I got to just admit, this is first impressions. So it is absolutely, without question, 100% first impressions. One of the things that I didn't get to do with my Oculus Quest 2, And I really wanted to do this before I had an episode. But the thing is, I thought, well, should I wait and maybe try to have an episode tomorrow? The thing is, I had a window to do an episode. It was here. It was available. I grabbed it. But what I really wanted to do with my Oculus Quest 2 is I wanted to flash it. I wanted to erase it and put an entirely different account up on there and an entirely different collection of games. Because right now, since I got my Oculus Quest 2, I've been using my VR Game Rankings account. All right. And on my VR Game Rankings account, I have Apex Construct. I have Red Matter. I have Phantom Covert Ops. I have In Death Unchained. And I have some other games that, haven't been updated. And I don't think In Death Unchained has been updated yet, because if it has, I didn't notice anything when I played that. And I also have like Shooty Skies Overdrive, which has been my banger. No joke. Shooty Skies Overdrive for the win. It is just a good ass $10 game. I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, Shooty Skies Overdrive. But there's no update for that. So I've only tried 3 Quest games that supposedly have been enhanced for Quest 2. And let's see here. So what else did I want to talk about? Well, one of the things I want to talk about too is like, let's see, where do I start off? Well, so far, I don't think I know what the Quest 2 is capable of. You know how I said that like Nathy and Mike and Cass and Cherry and Tyriel and everybody that got their Quest 2 originally when like the first information dropped and everybody's videos started dropping. And I was like, oh my God, all these people got a Quest 2 and I got boned. It's typical type shit, right? But when that first happened, they've had a lot of time with the Quest 2. But here's the thing. I don't think they've seen a legitimate Quest 2 experience that really shows what the Quest 2 is all about. At least I gotta hope that that's the case. I've gotta hope that that's the case. And the reason why I say this is I've played Phantom Covert Ops and I've played Apex Construct and I played, what's the other one? Red Matter. And all of these have been enhanced. And I gotta say that from what I've seen of these games, like, I don't believe I've stepped into an entirely new world. Okay, so I don't think I'm in an entirely new world here. There's nothing very Quest 2. Like Red Matter, dude, I love Red Matter. You guys know me. I'm a Red Matter fan. I've been down with Red Matter since freaking the very beginning. And let's see here. I want to go, I want to switch to one of these views here. Okay, so yeah. So this is some footage. I believe this is from Cass and Cherry. And this is footage where they were playing Red Matter on Quest 2 and Quest 1. And then they tried to have some kind of side-by-side footage to kind of give you an idea. Now, for this really to work out, this is a difficult thing too, by the way. For anybody that's trying to do side screen comparisons, this has got to be a real headache. What you really need to do in this sort of a situation, actually, Cass and Cherry, they could have done this because you kind of need 2 people for this. You need 1 person in a Quest 2, 1 person in a Quest 1, and then you need to tell the other person, you need to say, I'm standing right in front of this sign. Go over and stand right in front of this sign so we can just both be looking at the exact same thing for like 5 seconds so we get good comparison. Okay, now let's both look at the sunset. Okay, now let's both look at the entrance and hold. That's kind of what you need to do. So it's kind of hard here. Like I'm looking at this comparison video, and there's nothing jumping out at all to me with this comparison video. Now, having said that, look, there are definite upgrades. Vertical Robot is legit. They are one of the best developers that have ever worked on the Oculus Quest platform. And I'm sure Oculus knows good and well that these guys have chops and got them the necessary development equipment to get this up and running and to improve it. And it is improved. It is improved. It does look better, but it's not, I wouldn't even compare it to a PC with a 970 graphics card. You know, it doesn't compare to a PC with a 970. It's not like this Snapdragon XR2. Oh my God, it's a whole new level of entertainment here. And this has now taken us to the lowest level PC equivalent, like an old 970. My original gaming computer back in April of, well, not my original gaming computer, I've had plenty of them, but in April 2016, when I got my HTC Vive, that big ass box that's on the bottom there, I entered the world of VR in April of 2016. Now, I wasn't the very first guy. It was kind of late April. I had to wait around to get my Vive. Other people were already had it. I was jealous, of course. But, damn, I just lost the train of thought of what I was trying to say here. But basically, the computer that I had. So the computer that I had back in April of 2016, I had an i5 2500K, and I had a GTX 970. In fact, the GTX 970 box is sitting right here. My monitor is actually sitting on top of it. And I didn't have a good graphics card at the time. I had to scramble and buy a graphics card because this HTC Vive was on its way. And I just went with the cheapest thing I could get, man. And the bare minimum was a 970. I thought, you know what? I'm going to come in at the bare minimum with this 970. And that's the way I started out in PC VR gaming. So for the first couple of years, I was like slumming it quite a bit until I finally got that 1080 Ti and then rebuilt a brand new PC VR system and really upgraded the whole thing. But in the beginning, I was very low level PC VR gamer, and the Quest 2, as improved as it is with games like Red Matter and Apex Construct and Phantom Covert Ops, as improved as it is, it's not up to that level. So we got to understand that. Now the question though, the important question is, could it achieve that? Could it achieve that if you took a studio like Ready at Dawn, and here's what I really want to have happen with the Quest 2, and I can't wait till this happens with one specific game so that we can know how this works. But this is the way I really want it to work. Okay, so Oculus is not going to allow any developers to have a game that only works for Quest 2 and doesn't work for Quest 1. They're not going to allow that. So you have to have a Quest 1 version and you have to have a Quest 2 version. Now, most people are just going to try to make one version and just kind of like morph it to each platform, where it'll take advantage of Quest 2 tech and it'll look a little bit better on there and it runs fine on Quest 1. But that's kind of how they're going to do it. But I want to see a completely different way. I want to see a team where they're working on that Snapdragon. I want a team that's working on the XR2 Snapdragon and the capabilities of the Quest 2, and they pretend that the Quest 1 doesn't even exist. All right, the Quest 1 does not exist. We're just working on this Quest 2 game, and I want a super talented developer that spends like 18 freaking months banging away on this thing, and then you're going to know. Then you're going to know if this XR2 takes you to any kind of a new level, if there was that possibility where a developer could really concentrate on it like that. But right now, based on what I've seen, so like Red Matter, I was playing all this. It looks great. It looks fantastic. And I'm not trying to like shit all over this thing. It looks great. It looks wonderful. And just imagine somebody that hasn't played any PC VR. They haven't played any PlayStation VR. They don't know anything about VR gaming. And they start off with a Quest 2. What a way to... you're starting off so spoiled with really good screen, and then with these games, like if they happen to play Red Matter, if they happen to play Apex Construct, Phantom Covert Ops, and the various games that did get a nice update, a legitimate improvement where you actually notice differences. If they happen to play those games, yeah, I mean, it's a great experience. This is a beautiful thing. The Quest 2 is an amazing product at an amazing price. The Facebook thing, I mean, that's a whole nother category. Bottom line, if you go into the Facebook argument, that goes in a whole different, it's a whole different ball of wax there. And I don't really want to talk about that right now because that's like almost an entirely different show. So I don't want to get into that. I'm just covering like the actual capabilities of the Quest 2. So yeah, man, I did play Red Matter on it. It does look great, especially like when you're looking at that little tablet thing that opens up. The little tablet thing that opens up looks absolutely gorgeous. Crystal clear, like the letters are very clean. So all of that looks really good. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put on a slightly different Red Matter trailer. This was the old one. See, this was the Red Matter trailer when Red Matter first came to the Oculus Quest. I mean, we could remember back to when Red Matter first came to the Oculus Quest. It was like the crowning achievement. I mean, this game, when it was running on the Quest, was one of the most impressive Quest games out there, period. And it does use fixed foveated rendering. And especially in certain areas of the game, you would really, under certain backgrounds, when you looked at certain backdrops, you could really see the fixed foveated rendering sometimes. And it was very annoying. And the fixed foveated rendering has been completely eliminated, and it looks great. It does look great. I'm not trying to say it doesn't look good. There are benefits. But I think if it was really such a night and day difference, like you would be able to see it in screenshots. And I think it's almost like you're really trying to study stuff to figure out if there's a difference. Now, I know there's some games where there's like some increased numbers of enemies and stuff, or the numbers of enemies haven't been like artificially nerfed from the PC VR version, and that is impressive as well. Okay, so let me go ahead and see what some folks are talking about in chat. I'm going to back it up and take a look at FF Franklin, subscribed with Prime and been subscribed for 2 months, currently on a 1 month streak. You know what? Gaming Science Teacher also on a 1 month streak, been subscribed for 14 months. Gaming Science Teacher, thank you so much. It's amazing. You know what? People haven't been able to maintain their streaks because I didn't do like any Twitch show in the month of September. I don't know if I did one I think I probably did one in August, but I don't believe I did any Twitch show in the month of September. So I jacked up everybody's ability to have a streak. Okay, so let me go back here. I'm trying to see what some people are talking about. So Third Shift VR, I'm looking at some various messages in chat right now. Third Shift VR says, got the battery strap. Still not as comfy as Rift S. Probably need VR cover. So the quest for comfort continues. Comfort was not solved, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, there's lots of things to react to over the Quest, like from a business standpoint, from like what was their strategy standpoint. There's lots of things to consider about that. Okay, let's see. I like the Quest 2 VR cover. Seems higher quality than the Index version, in my opinion. That's FF Franklin. Okay, John Shrewbrook says, you need a channel like Digital Foundry to do these types of comparisons, I think. Yeah, and they're not going to do it until VR becomes a big enough thing. So that's going to take a long time. So these are definitely my early impressions on the whole thing. And Carrie MGVR says, that black level garbage is nonsense. I don't notice so-called not black levels at all. Yeah, I'm going to say that I've noticed a reduction in black levels when you go to LCD. There is that. That is a true thing. Like there's no avoiding that. But the thing is, when you first turn on the Quest 2, and it's a black background with the Oculus logo, that black background is not as gray as people would like to say it is. Like if you're talking a lot of smack about the black level, Like, you should notice it right there immediately, but you don't. You see the really white Oculus thing, and I think the black levels, honestly, for an LCD, they could have been way worse. I think it's easily as good as what the Valve Index has done with their black levels, or what the Rift S has done with their black levels. I don't notice like this like severe handicap in the black levels so far in all the games that I've played. Now, I haven't played like a hardcore horror game that is like really dark and like really trying to put you in darkness. I haven't done that, so I don't know about that aspect of it. But I've honestly been impressed with the black levels. Okay, so let's go ahead and just talk about some general talk on the Quest 2. And so here is my little baby right here. And I gotta tell you, man, this thing is a little baby. It's a little baby. Look at this little baby. It's so cute. It's so precious. I mean, look at this little thing. All along, the name should have been Baby Quest. That should have been the name all along. It's like the little baby of the family. It's a nice little baby, but I'll tell you what, if you got a ginormous ass head, like somebody like me, like my head isn't that ginormous, but I do have a bigger head than the average bear. And dude, putting a little tiny ass thing like this on a big ass head is kind of funny. Like this almost looks like a kiddie version. Like, this is made, if you have a 12-year-old kid, here's your perfect baby Quest. This is Quest Junior, everybody. Quest Junior. It's little baby Quest. You can give this to Timmy, and it'll fit his head perfectly. It is so small and so tiny. Yeah, I think the thing is really quite small and really quite tiny. Okay, now, if we're going to talk about... Let me go ahead and switch this trailer up because it's going to get boring if we just leave it. Hold on a second, cousins. So yeah, one of the complaints that I have, though, to a company like Facebook is like, I mean, dude, they did some incredible shit here, though, because $299.99. I mean, you can't get past that. $299.99. So I can talk a lot of shit about a lot of various things, but it's like scoreboard, $299.99. Have you heard the various developers out there that are saying that their sales are like exploding by like 10%? Or like some of the different games that have multiplayers, they've seen like the multiplayer action in their game increase by like 200% since this thing was available. And you can buy this thing at Target. You can buy this thing at Walmart. You can buy it at Costco. You can buy it at Amazon. You can buy it at Best Buy. There's widespread availability of this thing. Facebook is advertising the living crap out of this thing in various online areas where there's like a lot of gaming and kind of like, you know, like a hip young type of thing. You're seeing a lot of Quest 2 advertisements everywhere. And so there's a lot of these things that are being sold, and that is great for VR in general. It is incredible for VR in general because think about it. Think of the noobs. Think of the soccer moms. Think of the Johnny Six-Packs that are going to grab one of these and experience VR for the very first time. And they're jumping into a nice level of VR at a very affordable price with an incredibly deep library of games. I mean, a lot of you guys will complain about the library of games being nothing but freaking translations, nothing but ports from PC VR. But that's because you guys have been playing PC VR for like 3 or 4 years, and all the best PC VR games have eventually made their way over, or they're in the process now of hopefully I mean, dude, anybody that doesn't bring your freaking banging ass PC VR game to Quest, what the hell are you doing? You've got developers like Cloudhead Games that are saying their sales are just off the freaking charts since this thing came out. And that was already the case with Quest 1. It was already the case with Quest 1. So like a lot of people are talking, they see about 10 times the sales on the Quest platform compared with standard PCVR platforms. So all these like Vanishing Realms, like dude, where's Vanishing Realms on the Quest? If you've got a banging ass PCVR game that can maybe make the translation, you need to hire somebody and make it happen. Because you're leaving crazy money on the table. In Demo Labs, I believe, the developers of Vanishing Realms, you're leaving crazy money on the table, dude. Like, really, you could have had Vanishing Realms on the Quest. So here's the complaint, though. I've got a massive effing complaint. It's hard for me to complain because this thing is $299 and it's changing the VR game. I mean, as much as I thought the Quest 1 was already that animal, I thought we already had the mass market ticket. Even though it was $399, it was $100 more and it was heavier and it was the first Gen 1 and all that. Shit, I thought Quest 1 was the magical ticket. But it appears you drop $100, you change the entire game. Somebody can buy this compared to like a Switch or compared to buying a PlayStation 5 or one of these Xbox XXXXXs. This thing is an all-in-one device. You get the controllers, you get the headset, it's all here. Now, when it comes to complaints, though, what is it? It's comfort, god damn it. It's comfort, man. They did nothing. They did nothing for the comfort. Okay, no, I take that back. They did do something for the comfort. So it is a little bit lighter, and I guess, like, I kind of thought, what is it? Is it 10% lighter or 15% lighter? But it's not that much lighter. And I think it's 10%, right? 10% lighter? I thought that would be freaking imperceivable. But you actually do notice the 10%. Also, I would say that the face gasket is a little bit fatter and a little bit wider than you might get on your standard built-in standard face gasket. So it kind of gives it a little bit more of a cushion as far as that goes. But just from a pure comfort standpoint, this thing no, man, there's no comfort here, dude. I've been using, so I don't have any of the extra accessories right now. And people might say, well, dude, Anthony, you can't complain. You know this was sold at $299 just so they can like sell it at $299. You know that this is a buy as you go along type situation. And you've got to buy a strap. You've got to buy an Elite strap, or you got to buy the battery strap, or you got to buy this, or you got to buy that. Well, you know, I understand that argument, but here at the same time that you have an argument like that, what about the fact that who is the exact target market that we're talking about here? They're getting 10 times the sales that they normally had. They're getting a 200% increase in online usage in various games since Tuesday, since October 13th, which it's kind of weird that the Quest arrived on what was it, the 3 or 4 year anniversary of PlayStation VR. PlayStation VR, 4 years to the day of the arrival of the Oculus Quest 2, PlayStation VR came out October 13th, 2016. Kind of a interesting little fact there, interesting little tidbit, because maybe, just maybe, the Quest 2 is going to kill PSVR dead. Maybe there was a sinister plan among the elites at Oculus that decided to do it on that day just to freaking burn it in effigy. All right, so yeah, the comfort is garbage on a stick, and I'm talking about this strap. I'm talking about, the way it came, right? So I've been playing this for the last couple of days. I can last like 25 minutes. Maybe I should restate that. I can last probably 23 minutes with no discomfort, no noticeable discomfort. I need to actually do this sometime. Put on the Quest, start playing it, and have somebody. I notice the beginnings of discomfort, and on a stopwatch. How many minutes did you get before you noticed a diminishing of comfort? And how many levels are you diminishing in comfort? And then you basically get to the 45-minute mark. I don't even think I've made it 45 minutes in a Quest session so far on the Quest 2. But I've never been like, I've always been a short burst guy for VR in general. Like some of you people out there that can spend 8 hours in a Saturday afternoon just playing VR, like within a 10-hour period, you're playing 8 hours in VR. I have no effing idea how you people can do it. We're not there yet, man. It needs to be like freaking sunglasses if I'm spending 8 hours in VR. There needs to be, like, the weight needs to drop below 100 grams total if I'm spending freaking 8 hours in VR. I don't know how you peeps do it, but there are people out there that actually do that. They're actually able to play ridiculous lengths of time in VR. The true diehards, the real nut jobs, the real deal nut jobs. I play in shorter bursts. But even in a shorter burst, discomfort is real. Now, are we shocked by this? Are we shocked by the lack of comfort? No, none of us is shocked by it. As soon as we saw the strap, we knew this was like that. And I guess what it really comes down to is I guess Facebook says, you know what? Price over comfort, brah. Price over comfort. Maybe price trumps all. Maybe price trumps all. Maybe that's what it's all about. Because $299, based on Cloudhead Games, based on Guy Godin, developer of Virtual Desktop, based on a lot of people, what they've been saying in terms of their... And Guy Godin, dude, can I drive your Ferrari, bro? Guy Godin, can I try your Ferrari? Just around the block. I just want to drive it around the block. Guy Godin lives in Canada, but might move down to the Bay Area. Drive that Ferrari on down, man. I just want to drive the Ferrari around the block. You gotta have one. Okay, let's see if I can grab a new trailer. Yeah, so let me talk about some of the other experiences that I've had. So, I did talk about Red Matter. Let's talk a little bit about Quest. Let's talk a little bit about, I was about to say Quest and Apex Construct at the same time. Okay, so let's see here. I want to switch over here. All right, yeah, so Apex Construct. Now, here's the deal. I've been singing the praises for Apex Construct as a Quest game for a minute. All right, for a minute. I've been a champion of the regular Apex Construct on the regular Quest. Like, I believe this is one of the best Quest games there is. And one of the reasons why I think this is one of the best Quest games out there is because there's an entire story. You've got a story. I feel like the characters that are involved in the story, the voiceover work, and the sound design for Apex Construct. One of the things that we've got to talk about here is when you play various PC VR games and you're playing the PC VR game and you've got some nice headphones on and it's like boom, 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 and it's like rumbling and you're feeling like you're hearing some really high quality sound. Well, sometimes then you go to your Quest and you're playing the port of the game to the Quest, and you're still using some banging ass headphones. So where's the bum bum bum? I don't know, but dude, there were a lot of Quest games that had wonderful sound, but not all of them would. So you couldn't just take it for granted that you would get sound with serious impact. But Apex Construct had sound that had a serious impact, and that was on the regular Quest, the old ass busted Quest 1 that everybody must have just dumped in the garbage can, right? That was back in those days. And so I've been a champion of this game. I think it's a very awesome game. And I have been trying this out on Quest 2. And I'm pleased to say it's pretty freaking fantastic on Quest 2. It's a great game on Quest 2. Just like Red Matter, I mean, yeah, there's no fixed foveated rendering anymore. It appears like there might be even a few more enemies in the same frame, in the same little area. Like maybe you would have only had 2 enemies and now there's 3. It seems like some of that has been approved. As you can see, ragdolls on NPCs and some of the other things, enhanced audio effects, and all of that. So I believe, yeah, this does look really good. And especially if somebody it's weird too, though. It's weird because if you look at the reviews for Apex Construct, because I've done research on like the Oculus review system, right, for the Oculus Quest. And what I've done is like I've looked at, okay, how many reviews have been left for a particular game? Okay, what is the average? Like 4.2, 3.7, 4.5. What is the average score? How many reviews have been left for the game? And how many reviews per day of availability? And so I'll look at these different kind of stats. And when you look at this, like certain games jump way out where it's like, whoa, why are so many people playing drunken bar brawl, drunken bar fight? Why are so many people playing drunken bar fight? Tons of people are. There's a ton of reviews. That game just freaking hit. And you'll notice certain things like that. But one of the things I noticed about Apex Construct, there's not a lot of, like, it doesn't have as many, like, this is like a top 10 game on the Oculus Quest. Does anybody get that shit? Because the reviews don't support that. It's got good reviews, but there's not enough people, man. This is like one of the elite Oculus Quest games. How do people not know that? That is unfortunate. Hopefully their sales have improved by 10 times as well, but people are sleeping on Apex Construct, and it's an impressive game. Again, it like, imagine somebody just gets a brand new Quest 2 for $299, and the first game they happen to buy is Apex Construct. They're going to be a happy camper, I believe. They're like, you got to understand that there might be some people saying, Anthony, the graphics are so freaking simplistic, man. Anthony, I'm looking at these visuals. This is like freaking PlayStation 2, Anthony. Why are you impressed with this crap, Anthony? This is so elementary, Anthony. Well, you know what? I don't know, when I'm in there, in that screen, 1920 by 1860 or whatever, when you're in there, it looks good, it looks clean, it sounds good, you've got complete wireless capabilities, there's no cord anywhere, it feels good. I'm a fan of Apex Construct in general on all the platforms I played it on, and I'm a fan of this Oculus Quest 2 port. Now, is it like a night and day difference? Does this take it to a 970? I played Apex Construct on a 970. With an old Intel i5 2500K? No, it's not at that level. Quest 2 does not take shit to the low PC, the lowest entry level, like a 2016 PC VR low level experience. No, the XR2 does not achieve that. Now, we don't know, though, because, see, Fast Travel Games, it's not like Fast Travel Games spent 18 months slaving away thinking only about the XR2. No, they already had this existing game, and then they tried to enhance it and make it as good as it could be. But, I mean, they probably had a handful of dudes spending like 4 months on this. So we got to wait and see. We got to see a team, a really high-end team, excuse my French, a really high-end team bang for 18 months and pretend the Quest 1 don't even exist. And then we'll know what that XR2 is all about. And then, of course, the third one that I tried, the third conversion that I tried is Phantom Covert Ops. Now, I was looking for a Phantom Covert Ops. I was looking for like a comparison video or something. Or even, this is actually not even a Quest video. So apologies here, because this is like Rift-esque graphics and stuff. So this is going to be the PC VR graphics. But we can just have this video run in the background anyway. But yeah, so I tried Phantom Covert Ops. I've tried Phantom Covert Ops. I played this not too long ago on the Quest 1. So, I had played it relatively recently. And so now I'm playing it on the Quest 2. And I think it looks, it looks very good. Like I'm looking at these graphics right now, and even though I know that this is the Rift S version that's in this video, the graphics hold up pretty good. It seems like there's the same number of enemies, so they might have had a few additional enemies and stuff. So yeah, it looks good. It feels good, but I'm not seeing any kind of night and day difference. Like this is not taking a GTX 970 and having a mobile VR with a GTX 970. I can't say that that's actually the case here that's happening. But yeah, Phantom Covert Ops is a cool game. I probably need to play a little more of it. But I did get in there and try that. I can briefly mention just trying some existing Quest 1 games that don't have any bonuses, updates, or anything like that, but I just happened to try them on Quest 2. And in terms of like the visuals and the screen and all of that, like one of the complaints that I've had about Shooty Skies Overdrive is my number one complaint with this game is see those little projectiles that are flying at the person playing the game. So there's all these little things that are flying around and they shoot these little bullets at you, and the bullets are like all kinds of different little bullets. And sometimes a lot of times it's very easy to lose all these little bullets and all these little projectiles on these incredibly colorful backgrounds. And the one thing I'll say, playing it on Quest 2, I think that improved just a little bit because of the minor bump in resolution and maybe the LCD factor. It seemed like I could see the projectiles a little bit better, although it could possibly be a little bit of a placebo effect as well. This is a crazy, colorful game. Oh, another thing I'm going to mention about the Quest 2, like one of the really big worries about this thing was color pop. Are your colors going to be like muted and washed out? Are you going to lose so much of the juice of the vibrant colors that you get with the OLED? And you know what, man? I didn't notice, I really honestly did not notice like a dramatic drop in color pop going to the Quest 2. Like, I don't feel like my colors got totally washed out. And I respect that, dude. The vibrant colors of OLED, because on that OLED screen of the Quest 1, I remember playing stuff like Sport Scramble, incredibly colorful, bright, vivid, Nintendo-like game, Sport Scramble. Haven't tried it yet. Haven't tried it on the Quest 2 yet. That would look pretty dope. I should try it on Quest 2. But yeah, it's very vibrant on the Quest 1 OLED. And so that was a concern. I was super worried, were the vibrancy of the colors going to really get clipped? And no, I feel like the vibrancy was there. So I enjoyed my time with Shooty Skies Overdrive. Had some fun with that. I also played some In Death, which is, a fantastic game. I mean, In Death is just an amazing game on Quest. In Death Unchained. Super Bright did some incredible shit with that. Okay, and let's switch over here. Yeah, so another game that I was able to try on my Quest 2 was, of course, In Death Unchained, which is one of the more incredible Quest games, period. This game is just dope on a stick. Easily one of the 20 best Quest games, in my opinion. And there is going to be an update that's coming to this game. And I've seen pictures, on the update, they basically show you that the rest of the world, so the world isn't going to be popping in as much. It's going to be there. And honestly, I got to say that I don't really like that idea. I think what they should have done is done a little bit of work on the Brookhaven zombies that they have running around in the game. Throw a few little more polygons their way. Like those dudes, the polygons are lacking on the Foot Soldier zombie guys. Polygons are pretty much lacking in a major way. So if they threw more polygons at some of the characters and also had increased enemy counts, increased numbers of enemies and stuff, I would have been more impressed with that than having like all that background pop in just automatically be there. I mean, that is kind of cool. I guess we haven't actually seen the update to this yet because I played it and I didn't notice anything at all. So I haven't actually seen the update. But it is a beautiful game, and it looks beautiful on the Quest 2. So let's see, what else can we talk about from a Quest 2 standpoint? Let me go ahead and switch back over here. And I guess, another thing I can talk about in regards to Quest 2 is like how snappy it is. That's a lot of people have been talking about that in terms of moving through the various menus and bouncing through the various menus. It's incredibly snappy and quick to do all of that. I had a bunch of problems in the beginning. So when I was first trying to get my Quest 2, like turn it on and go through the process of setting it up, I had a ton of problems with Wi-Fi. Like it was having serious problems with my Wi-Fi, and I had to do these, I was downloading all these different games, and then I went to go get something to eat, and I figure, oh, they're all going to be downloaded when I get back. And I came back a couple hours later, and I put my Quest 2 on, and it's like they barely downloaded 1%. Like the downloading wasn't working. And then for some reason, if I had the Quest 2 on my head and left it there, the downloads were moving and it was downloading. And if I took it off my head and put it on a table and go away for 5 minutes and come back, the downloads weren't moving. I was like, what? What the hell is going on here? But then after I reset it a couple of times, everything seems to be working great now. But, there were a few little slight hiccups there. I don't know that we can take anything away from that. Obviously, it's very new. I haven't done any of the 90 hertz. Well, I did do the 90 hertz experimental where you're in the menu and it's 90 hertz, but I haven't done any of the side loading stuff. And there's so many different games that have been updated that I have on my other Quest account that I haven't tried. So one of the things that I'm probably going to be doing later today is I'm going to go ahead and flash this puppy, wipe it, put this other account on it, and start over from scratch. And I'll be able to try Super Hot and Moss and all these other games that are on this other account. And that way I'll be able to get a pretty good feel for a lot of these other games that have had some Quest improvements. Okay, actually, one of the biggest things that I have not talked about today, and this is kind of shocking. Can you guys believe this? How long has this video been going? Okay, wait a minute. How long has this video been going? It's been going for 56 minutes. This has been going for 56 minutes. And I have not mentioned my IPD. How incredible is that? Didn't you guys think that, in the first 5 minutes of doing this show, I'd be like, this is busted, man. The IPD is bunk. It's all out of whack. This doesn't work for me. This freaking sucks. Okay, so the IPD is not a perfect situation, especially for somebody like me. My IPD is borderline between 70 and 71. So basically 70 and a half is my IPD. Now this thing, of course, has the 3 different settings. Everybody knows about that by now. And I'm using setting number 3. And we heard about setting number 3. John Carmack, in fact, I don't know if this was in his official thing or if it was in the after party on the Facebook Connect that they had, where John Carmack mentioned that if you're at setting number 3, you are going to lose field of view. Okay, and then the other thing that we've seen on one of these websites or on somewhere, they did a breakdown where they looked at the field of view, and at 63.5, if your IPD is 63.5 and you have it on number 2, the field of view of an Oculus Quest 2 is supposedly 96 degrees. 96 degrees. Now, if your IPD is 68 and you have it on number 3, your field of view is 86 degrees. 86 degrees. Then, if your IPD is even bigger, well, guess what? Your field of view is going to drop 85, 84. I don't know the exact measurement there, but definitely my field of view is definitely smaller with this compared to the Oculus Quest 1. However, honestly, this has not bothered me like the Rift S bothered me. The Rift S, I was like, oh, hell no, this shit has got to go. The field of view, maybe it's because like I'm used to the Valve Index and I went from the Valve Index to the Rift S. But god damn, dude, I was like, there's no way. The Rift S has got to go. I couldn't keep the Rift S because the field of view was just so shrunk. It wasn't a problem with like scale or blurriness or things being like out of focus and stuff. It was just the FOV was shrunk. And on this, the FOV is definitely shrunk in a major way, but for some reason it doesn't seem to bother me, or it hasn't really bothered me yet. So I know it's a trade-off, but I haven't been that horribly disappointed. And, but look, I can't give Facebook a pass on this because I know there is a little bit of blurriness and like, I know it's not ideal. It's definitely not ideal. If 70.5 was the freaking national average in IPD and they designed it with 70.5 as the native IPD, my experience would be so much better. I know that. So those of you out there, you lucky sons of bees, that you've got a 64 IPD or your IPD is 63 or your IPD is the golden 63.5. Those of you out there that are living a dream, I'm happy for you, man. You guys are living a dream and that's incredible. And you've got the perfect IPD and you're having an unparalleled experience. Your experience simply doesn't translate. But then also cheekbones, how deep your eyes are set, your brow, how your brow pushes, whatever. There's a million different factors that can all be baked into this thing. So that's part of it as well. What else can I say about this thing? The built-in audio, I thought it was better than Quest 1. Is that placebo? Is it like placebo effect? Because I feel like the built-in audio of this has been improved a little bit. You still don't really want to use the built-in audio. You're going to want to use a set of cans like these, in my opinion, completely covering your ears so you can get a little bit more immersion. Now, here's the downside of this, though. See how this is completely covering my ears? Well, summer is going away and temperatures are going to start falling. It's not going to be that bad. But I'll tell you what, in the summer months, the Valve Index, how that thing floats off of your ear, that is absolutely perfect. And if you guys want to talk about a Facebook fail, it's kind of a fail that they don't have an elite head strap that also has an audio solution on it. Like, what the F is going on there? And the other thing too is I do believe one of the things that Facebook screwed up on is, see these straps right here? This plastic piece right here. I believe they could have had special contacts that are on the other side of this, where if you get one of those other straps and you remove this, you take this off, and then you put the alternate strap on, the contacts, it can connect and have a connection for audio, and then it has built-in audio that's off the ear, like Valve Index style. That would be sweet. And also battery. So then you have no wires going anywhere externally, and you've got built-in audio. Because the thing is, with the Quest 2, the way it is right now, two-step process. It's a two-step process. I put on my Quest 2, and then I'm like, oh shit, I got to get my headphones. And then you know what I got to do? So I'm going like this, and I have the Quest 2 on my head, and I'm trying to feel for the headphone jack. And then I've got my headphone jack, and I'm trying to plug it in, and there's probably some scratches on here, man. So it would be nice if, like, it was such a way where when you actually have this on your head, you can get that. Because a lot of times what I have to do is I have to take this off, plug the headphone in, put this thing on, then put my headphones on. And, sure, it's a gripe, it's a complaint. What? It takes like 25 seconds, but it's annoying. And see, the thing is, these headphones that I'm using, these headphones right here, I have a relatively short cord. Like, I got this special short cord for these headphones on purpose. But what I really need is a cord that's like this long. That like a 1 foot cord, and that's it. And then it would be a little bit less dangling. So there is the problem of dangling. There is the 2-step process of like grabbing some headphones and doing that. And it definitely was a fail that Oculus did not think of like a bomb-ass audio solution. And the off-ear speaker is the way to go, man. It's the way to go. HP Reverb G2 is going to have that same design. And that is the future, because you're a lot cooler when you don't have something covering your ears, like just from a temperature standpoint. And also the audio, the spatial audio that you get is really high quality out of those things. Now, of course, in an effort to get away from that 2-step process, this is my Quest 1. And this monstrosity, I mean, look at this ginormous monstrosity, right? Ginormous. I've got the VR cover padding on here, the thick VR cover padding, and I got the deluxe audio strap. And these speakers are built in, so I did order these adapters where I'm going to be able to put my deluxe audio strap on my Quest 2. So I did order the adapters. So very soon I'm going to be trying my deluxe audio strap on the Quest 2, see how that improves things from a comfort standpoint, and also no longer needing to plug in my headphones. So I'll just have an audio solution that is already there. But even on my Frankenmod here, like even on my Frankenmod, you can see that it's got the wire coming out and then the wire's coming along, over here so it can go to the headphones there. Is this ideal? No. Like, wouldn't it be awesome if it was like built inside this so you didn't see anything at all? Well, Oculus could have done that. They could have done that very easily. Just like they built the battery. They have the battery built into the back there in a nice idea. See, the battery thing doesn't really bother me either, though. Like, getting that battery strap doesn't make a ton of sense to me because I don't play for more than 2 hours, man. Now, what I would have loved, and I would still love at some point, a new Quest where you have hot swappable batteries. So say in the back there is a battery pack and you can pop it out and you can have another battery pack that's like over in the corner that is charged up. You could have like 3 of them. You could just swap them. So, and it has a little built-in battery that gives you like 10 minutes of juice, just enough time to go find your other battery pack and not lose your game. So like you're playing a game and your battery dies, it's got a built-in battery that'll last you for like 10 minutes so you can find your hot swappable battery pack. That would have been sweet. I would have liked that. But I don't play, like these headsets aren't comfortable enough, in my opinion, to be able to play for multiple hours. So what do you even need that extra battery pack? I would have much rather had the audio. Like for me, the audio is better than having the battery. So I think it was just a bad decision on Facebook's part. All right. So anyways, I think I've covered most of my issues or most of the things that I've been thinking about in terms of this. What about the controllers? What are my thoughts on the controllers? They're definitely fatter, stubbier. They got a bigger girth, and I've heard that the rumble is stronger. I don't know that I would, I guess it's probably a little bit stronger. But I haven't noticed much with the controllers yet. I haven't really tried any hand tracking yet. Hardly. I've hardly tried any hand tracking, so I don't really know if there's so that gets back to my point where you really got to have something for a while, or you've got to be like a dedicated YouTuber where this is your job and you're like, I'm going to try hand tracking today for 4 hours and I'm going to play 4 different hand tracking games and I'm going to test it and I'm going to record the video and I'm going to talk about everything and I'm going to have a frame by frame video. You know, you could do that. Unfortunately, I'm unable to do that. So until I hit the lottery, that ain't happening. So I'm going to have to learn slowly over time. Now, one thing I was annoyed by is this short-ass cord. Look at this short-ass cord for charging up your Quest. So this was this is just the cord for the Quest 1. See, here's a comparison. See how short this cord is? See how long this cord is? Also, this cord, oh no, yeah, they're basically the same thing. Yeah, so you could, you can use this cord, right, with the Quest 1 and do Oculus Link. I haven't even tried Oculus Link yet. So I haven't tried any Oculus Link because one of the things I really want to do as far as Oculus Link is I need to get a little thing for my motherboard. So I have a direct connection with this type of connector. You know, this type of connector on my actual motherboard. Even though I've got like an up-to-date motherboard, it doesn't have any of these on there. So I haven't screwed around with Oculus Link at all. But that's pretty much of what I've got to talk about. But what I'll go ahead and do here before I bounce out of here is I will take a look at what everybody's been talking about in chat and see if there were any things mentioned that I should probably get to. So let me go ahead and take a look at chat. All right, let's see here. Mr. Hussein X, LOL, was going to say been waiting about your thoughts on IPD. Okay, Carrie MGVR. Ant, you should talk about the Facebook Quest 2 Instaban thing for a little bit. You know, I don't know what's going on with this Instaban thing. I mean, I know I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I don't know if it's some kind of problem or all my stuff has worked fine. I guess if I had an account that was Instabanned, I'd be pissed as F. But I don't know what's going on with that. So I haven't gotten into all of the outrage, basically, over like all the Facebook outrage that's been going on. And there has been a lot of that. There's definitely been a lot of that. Okay, Quadzillion BR. My audio is louder on Quest 2. Your audio's, like the pure volume goes louder? Do you think the audio is better, I wonder? Slam Jester. I'm going to have to shave my eyebrows then. So I was probably talking about, facial features like cheekbones and your brow and your eye, how your eyes are, how deeply your eyes are set. Dude, there's a million things. That's the problem. Like Facebook, you could have the exact same IPD as someone else, but a totally different head shape. And your eye sockets and everything like could be much more deeply set or whatever. And so this is just a hard problem, man. It really is a hard problem. Okay, Slam Jester says, I think that audio is generally a bit better and it drives headphones louder. Interesting. Gaming Science Teacher says, yes, please, hot swappable batteries. Yeah, hot swappable batteries would definitely be, I mean, that would be a great idea, but man, it must cost a lot to add that in. Carrie MGVR. And another topic can be that regular Oculus venues isn't available for everyone anymore. Like I don't have it, and I don't have access to the venues beta either. Yeah, I don't know. See, the thing is, I haven't really been into the menu and tried like Rec Room and tried like all these different things. I've only basically just been playing Red Matter, Phantom Covert Ops, and Apex Construct and trying to get a really good feel for those 3 games and their differences. Quadzillion BR, I have a hot swappable battery set up on mine. I have too many batteries as is. Yeah, you guys and your batteries, I still don't get how you guys can play for hours on end, because one of the things I've said this a number of times, like I mentioned this when it comes to playing like retro games in VR. You know how they'll have these games in VR where they recreate a bedroom from like the 1990s, right? So they got a 1990s bedroom, and they've got, posters on the wall from like a kid in the 1990s. They've got like a toaster strudel box, some Capri Suns laying around. They're giving you the flavor of the 1990s, and you've got like an old CRT, and you can play like Genesis ROMs and like Super Nintendo ROMs and stuff like that. And it seems super cool. But the reason that I don't often play those things is because I've made this argument that when you're in VR, you're suffering. You're suffering every single minute that you're in VR. You're suffering because the field of view isn't big enough. You're suffering because the resolution isn't high enough. But you're suffering, most importantly, because the frame rate isn't high enough. If the frame rate was like 400 hertz, we would be suffering a lot less, I probably believe. And it's just, the thing is, when you put a VR headset, you're strapping a monitor to your face. And when you do that, there's a cost. Now, we got to get the cost way the F lower, because I don't think the cost is low enough for me to be in a 1990s bedroom playing Sonic the Hedgehog in VR. The cost isn't low enough, so I don't bother with that. If I'm going to take the time to strap one of these things to my head, no matter how small and baby-like this thing is, if I'm going to strap this thing to my head, and there's heat, and there's light, and there's sound, and there's all of that, and it's going to be scrunching the back of my head or whatever. If I'm going to do all of that, I got to be playing a banging ass like high-end VR game and like really be in the VR thing, because you're suffering as you play this. And so that's why it amazes me that people are able to play for 3 and 4 and 5 hours straight. It's amazing that they're able to do that, but people do that all the time. Okay, let's see here. I didn't mention this. Yeah, FF Frank. This is perfect. He says, I love how you can tap the side of the Quest 2 times and pass-through mode comes up. Dude, that is like the best thing of all. That is the best thing of all. I love that. That is an awesome design. You just go boom, boom, and then bam, pass-through. Boom, boom, back to game. Boom, boom, bam. Boom, boom, bam. Boom, boom, bam. This side, boom, boom, bam. It just works, man. It just works. Have they explained how that works? Is there like a sensor, I wonder where we're tapping. Or are we tapping this? Are we tapping? I wonder where I tap. Like when I tap, am I tapping that? And so it's just like, how does it sense that? How does it? It probably has some little sensor in here that if even you do your little pinky and you barely tap it, it can feel enough of a sensation to get the two tap. That is so good. It is so good. And then also the black and white pass through. I read in some different things that it's like the identical cameras, right? Like the cameras are supposedly identical to Quest 1. But I got to tell you, man, the black and white pass through looks a little bit better. It just seems a little bit, not a lot better, like 15% better, like a little bit better, but slightly noticeably better. I feel like the black and white pass through is just a tiny bit better. But imagine if you double tapped and it was just, it was just freaking 4K color, perfectly warped. So that when you touch something, it looks like, oh, I'm grabbing my cup in 4K color vision. 4K color, man. 4K color, perfectly warped. Doot doot, back to the game. Doot doot, color. Everything's in color. Oh, that would be so awesome. What is the first headset that's going to feature that? But not only just color, but crystal clear clarity. Where it's basically like you don't have a headset on. That will be such an incredible game changer. Like I could really see wearing the headset for a long time. Then you got to go do something, you got to go to the bathroom or whatever. Just leave your headset on. You know, you're in the 4K color, you could be walking all over the damn place. Okay, let me see. Yeah, the cord being short is lame. The cord being short is lame. Everybody definitely. Oh, you know, one question I have about the cord. Has anybody figured this out? About the cord. Can I use my Quest 1 charger? Will it screw anything up? You know, can I use my Quest 1 charger with the Quest 2? Is the voltage any different? Like over a year, will it kill it or anything like that? You know, that's a question. Don't know about that. Okay, yeah. So anyways, try to sync an Xbox controller. Doesn't work for me. I haven't done that yet. I haven't tried to play any kind of a game that would use like a regular controller. And then Gaming Science Teacher says, what Facebook account is the Roundtable Oculus account linked to? Good question. Good question. It's not linked to mine. I know that. I got to assume either Gary or Steve has been using it, so on a Quest 2. So I got to imagine it's linked to somebody. But yeah, I know we had like a VR Roundtable Facebook account. Like I believe I have a VR Game Rankings Facebook account, but I think it's like a side thing that's linked to my normal Facebook account. And then, so I think we have a VR Roundtable Facebook account, but I think it also has to be linked to like one individual person's real Facebook account. But yeah, I haven't gotten into the whole Facebook account thing. So, Gaming Science Teacher, a question for you before I bounce out of here. Hopefully you hear this in time and you can answer. Like, do you have a Quest 2 and are you using it? So, have you succumbed to the whole Facebook thing? You know, have you succumbed to the Facebook thing? Do you have a Facebook account? Is that problematic? Because for some people, the Facebook thing is a crazy deal breaker. And I understand it. You know, I get it. It's not the same as a freaking Xbox account or a PSN account. It's not the same. You'd like it to be the same, but it's not. And it's also different because I could imagine when the Quest 1 came out, if it was just like you got to have a Facebook account for Quest 1, you know, they could have avoided a lot of this drama if they did it way back then. I don't think people would have panicked as much back then, but I think making a change. Odyssey Games Co. says the cameras aren't positioned in the same location. That might be the difference. Oh, for the improvement in the pass-through, like the 15% improvement in how good it looks. Odyssey Games Co. Ant is about what he doesn't have, not what he has. Ha 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 ha. Trying to play Community Shrink in chat, I see. Yeah, so Slam Jester says, it's not an additional sensor. It's the software interpreting the movement as double. Yeah, it could definitely be that. Slam Jester, very impressive. Carrie MGVR, I hope using the Quest 1 cord doesn't do anything bad because I've been using it since day one. Oh, shiznit. Gaming Science Teacher, not yet, no. But I did link a Facebook account. It's first name Gaming, last name Science Teacher. Oh, shit. So I hope I don't get banned. Oh, my God. She'll have a Quest 2 by the end of the month. Quest 1 charger is 5 volts, 3 amps. So 15 watts. Quest 2 is 5 volts, 2 amps, so just 10 watts. Oh, yeah. After hearing that, nope, I'm not. Because I will be the protective one. I will be the protective guy. It's always going to be this tiny, short-ass little cable. This thing is so freaking tiny. And you know what sucks, too? Is the way I always used to charge my Quest 2. Okay, see that tall speaker right there with the firewall box for the PlayStation Aim controller? My Quest 1 would always sit right there. And then see that power plug over there? The cord could go all the way there, and it wouldn't even pull on my Quest 1, and my Quest 1 could sit up there and it would charge, and my cat wouldn't even trip over the cord or anything, and it was very convenient. Now, when I use this little last thing, my Quest 2 is going to be kicking it on the ground. So it's just going to be sitting there on the ground where a giant black widow can crawl right into it right when I play Face Your Fears 2. And give me a nice surprise. Alrighty, guys. Well, you know what? I did it. I was able to do a show today, and it's been an hour and 24 minutes. So hopefully covered a lot of stuff and, you know, went over some Quest 2 thoughts, first impressions with Quest 2. I've barely scratched the surface, ladies and gentlemen. I think, you know, my initial impression, though, is it's not Bone City. It has not been Bone City for me. You know, FOV is shrunk for sure, but I'm still enjoying using this. Now, you know, maybe I go back to my Quest 1 and I'm like, oh, I really am suffering, or, you know, maybe my opinion will change. You know, opinions can and do change. I got to imagine these things are going to get so dirty and so nasty so fast. And this thing's probably going to get all discolored. I wonder if like 30 years from now, you know how there's Super Nintendos that are straight up yellow because of like over time they turn yellow? I wonder if these things are going to turn yellow over time, like the Super Nintendos. All right, but yeah, I'm pretty much a fan of Quest 2 right now. Despite a handful of compromises, I'm a fan. But I don't really feel it's Quest 2. It's Baby Quest. It's a little baby. It's a little baby. Oh, look at this little baby. It's just a little baby. We got to take care of our little baby Quest. It's just a baby. Yeah, it's just a baby. It's not a Quest 2. It's a baby. But yeah, folks, that's basically going to wrap it up for this particular episode of VR365. And the channel does still exist. It's just going to be a little bit slow in terms of putting content on this channel. I do have things going on in the background. I am working a lot of hours. And so I'll just try to do this channel when I can. You know, try to pop a video when I can. And but I definitely appreciate your guys' support. I've had some people jump on Patreon recently. That was really huge. I've had a couple of people do some PayPal donations, which is really huge. And then, of course, a lot of people over here in chat, a lot of people over here have subscribed with Amazon Prime. And that is really huge. And if you do have an Amazon Prime sub and you're not using it, or your wife or your girlfriend has an Amazon Prime sub and she's not using it, you know, hop on there, man. I think it takes all of like 5 minutes to connect your Amazon Prime sub to VR365, and it does definitely help. It is very cool, to be sure. Ant is about what he doesn't have, not what he has. Ah, interesting. Interesting, man. Interesting, man. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of VR365. I will see everybody next time. Everybody have a good one. Take it easy, and later.